The Zeridian Council had been very specific in their terms. After 3 brutal years of interstellar warfare, the treaty was clear. No advanced weapons would be permitted on the contested moon of Thalros 7. The definition, as outlined in Article 47, subsection 12, was precise. No energy-based armaments, no kinetic accelerators, no quantum disruptors, no molecular destabilizers, and absolutely no weapons utilizing any form of propulsion system more sophisticated than chemical combustion. The Zeridians, a proud reptilian species with scales that shimmered like oil on water, believed they had cornered humanity into surrender. Their own warriors were formidable in close combat, standing nearly 3 meters tall with natural armor plating and claws that could rend steel. Without advanced weaponry, they assumed the smaller, frailer humans would be forced to negotiate from a position of weakness. Elsa Morgensen stood on the gray dust of Thalros 7, watching the Zeridian delegation approach across the barren landscape. The moon's thin atmosphere created an eerie whistling sound as wind scraped across ancient rock formations. She adjusted her tactical visor, its heads-up display showing friendly positions scattered across the ridge behind her. "Captain Morgensen," Daniel Chen's voice crackled through her earpiece. "The Zeridians are 300 meters out. All units are in position." Elsa smiled. Daniel was her chief engineer, a man who had spent the last 6 weeks doing something the Zeridians couldn't have anticipated, reading history books. "Acknowledged, Commander Chen. Prepare to demonstrate compliance with treaty regulations." The Zeridian war leader, Sharath, approached with his honor guard of 20 warriors. Each one was a mountain of muscle and scale, carrying plasma shields and ceremonial blades. They moved with the confidence of predators who had already won. "Human," Sharath's translator rendered his hissing speech into flat, emotionless standard. "We come to witness your disarmament. The treaty demands inspection of your weapon systems before territorial negotiations can proceed." Elsa gestured behind her. "Of course, war leader, we have full compliance. No energy weapons, no kinetic accelerators, no quantum technology. Commander Chen, if you would demonstrate our armaments." Daniel emerged from behind a rock formation, followed by a squad of soldiers. What they carried made Sharath's eyes narrow in confusion. They were bows, simple, elegant longbows crafted from composite materials. Behind them, other soldiers wheeled forward what appeared to be crude siege weapons, crossbows mounted on tripods, and further back, something that looked like a giant wooden spoon attached to a counterweight system. What is this primitive display?" Sharath demanded. Elsa's expression remained professional. "These are our weapons, war leader. I assure you, they meet every specification of the treaty. No energy propulsion. These use simple elastic potential energy. No advanced guidance systems. The operator aims manually using nothing more than geometric principles known for thousands of years. No chemical propellants whatsoever." Daniel stepped forward holding a crossbow. "This is a modified heavy crossbow, war leader. Draw weight of approximately 1,200 pounds, achieved through a simple lever and pulley system, technology that predates spaceflight by millennia. The projectile is a carbon fiber bolt, non-explosive, propelled entirely by mechanical tension." He raised the weapon and fired. The bolt screamed across the distance and punched through a rock target, shattering it into fragments. Sharath's scales rippled, a sign of agitation. "This is acceptable under treaty terms, but surely you do not believe such weapons can." "And this," Elsa interrupted, gesturing to the larger construct, "is a Trebuchet, a counterweight siege engine, entirely mechanical, using nothing but gravity and leverage to launch projectiles. This particular model can throw a 50-kilogram payload approximately 400 meters with remarkable accuracy." "Demonstrate," Sharath growled. Daniel signaled. The engineering team loaded a smooth, aerodynamic projectile into the sling. The counterweight, A massive box filled with Thalros 7 iron-rich soil was released. The throwing arm swung with terrifying speed, and the projectile arced through the thin atmosphere before crashing into a hillside with devastating force. The Zeridian delegation stepped backward involuntarily. "The treaty is very specific," Elsa continued, her voice calm. "It prohibits advanced weapons, but humanity has been killing each other for 50,000 years, war leader. Long before we reached the stars, we perfected the art of sending sharp objects at high velocity toward things we wanted dead. The longbow, the crossbow, the trebuchet, these weapons defended castles, won wars, and changed the course of civilizations on Earth." Daniel added, "We've made some improvements, of course. Modern materials science, precision manufacturing, optimal energy transfer calculations. But the fundamental principles, those are older than your entire species' recorded history." Sharath's translator was silent for a long moment. When he finally spoke, his voice carried an edge of something that might have been respect. "You follow the letter of the treaty while spitting on its spirit." "We follow the treaty exactly as written," Elsa corrected. "Your diplomats were very thorough. They made sure to prohibit every weapon in humanity's current arsenal. They just forgot that we didn't start with plasma rifles and rail guns. We started with sticks and stones, and we got very, very good at throwing them." Behind her, 100 soldiers raised their longbows in unison, arrows knocked. Further back, a dozen trebuchets creaked as their crews prepared to load. The message was clear. Sharath observed the primitive arsenal arrayed before him, weapons that required no power cells, no ammunition supplies, no sophisticated maintenance. Weapons that could be manufactured from local materials. Weapons that a treaty written by beings who had only known advanced warfare had failed to prohibit. "It seems," Sharath said slowly, "that we may need to renegotiate the territorial boundaries of Thalros 7. Elsa smiled. "I was hoping you'd say that, war leader. Shall we discuss terms?" As the Zeridian delegation withdrew to consult with their superiors, Daniel moved beside Elsa. "Think they'll push for combat despite the disadvantage?" She watched the aliens retreat across the gray dust. "No, they're warriors, but they're not stupid. They see what we've done here, turned their own treaty into a weapon more effective than anything we could have brought. Besides," she glanced at the medieval arsenal surrounding them, "there's something particularly humiliating about being threatened with technology your opponents abandoned thousands of years ago." Daniel chuckled. "I pulled the crossbow designs from a 13th century manuscript. The trebuchet is based on a French design from 1220, and the longbows, those are straight out of the Battle of Agincourt." "Sometimes," Elsa said, "the old ways are the best ways, especially when your enemy expects you to fight with tomorrow's weapons and forgets you still remember how to fight with yesterday's." Above them, humanity's transport ships waited in orbit, their holds filled not with plasma cannons and rail guns, but with thousands of bows, millions of arrows, and the collective knowledge of 10,000 years of pre-industrial warfare. The Zeridians had written a treaty to prevent advanced warfare. Humanity had simply reminded them that advanced was a matter of perspective.